wild boars attacked a series of farms in the United States, causing farmers to lose billions of dollars. With special mechanical activity, the U.S. farmers have created their own traps to trap herds of wild boars. Join us to find out how American farmers create these amazing traps. Wild pigs, an invasive wild species in the United States, have caused extensive damage to both farms and ecosystems. Known as omnivores, as they only threaten food sources but also damage agricultural infrastructure massively. Wild boars have a habit of eating everything they find, including corn, wheat, sunflowers, and many other crops. Their ability to move flexibly from the forest to the fields create a great challenge for farmers. Wild boars not only live in the forest areas, but also have great mobility, being able to travel hundreds of kilometers in search of food. The appetite of wild boars is unlimited. They will eat both unripe and ripe crops. Cornfields are where they cause major damage, eating both young and mature corn plants. Not only limited to that, but wild boars also cause serious damage to sunflower fields, eating both flowers and sunflower seeds, and destroying plants and leaves. According to estimates by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, wild boars cause animal damage of about $2.5 billion to the country's agricultural industry. Of this total, about $1.3 billion is due to direct damage from wild boars destroying crops. States in the southern and central United States were the areas that suffered the most damage. Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Alabama are all having the largest feral pig populations, increasing the pressure and burden on local farming communities. This wild boar problem isn't only economic, but also poses a major challenge in protecting food sources and protecting the agricultural environment. Proactive and effective action from both the government and the community is needed to solve this problem and sustainably protect the agriculture sector in the United States. Cage traps are an effective means widely used to capture wild boars, providing high efficiency in controlling the population of these wild animals. The shape of the trap is like a cage, made from materials such as steel or metal mesh. With a small entrance door activated by a mechanical latch. The cage trap automatically closes when the wild boars enter, effectively capturing them. Although it is unclear exactly who invented the first cage trap, it can be surmised that it came from the creativity of hunters from ancient times. Cage traps are usually welded using a welding machine, but manual welding can also be done with suitable welding tools. This healing process ensures the sturdiness and durability of the trap when faced with varying conditions in the natural environment. The cost of materials to construct a cage trap can range from $100 to $200. This price depends on the size, type of material, and complexity of each trap. To set traps effectively, you need to choose a location near places where wild boars often pass by. This may include next to trails, fields, forests, or near lakes. The traps needs to be spread with a layer of soil or straw inside to make wild boars feel comfortable when entering. Bait such as corn, sweet potatoes, and bananas are spread around the door and inside the cage to increase attraction. The number of wild boars harvested depends on many factors such as the trap size, the number of traps placed, the location of the traps, and the type of the bait. According to estimates, each cage trap can catch 1 to 2 wild boars per month. For those who use multiple traps, it is possible to harvest significant numbers of wild boars. The practice of trapping and poisoning wild boars has become a popular method of controlling wild boar populations in many areas of the United States, especially in the southern and central states. This process not only requires careful preparation, but also compliance with regulations to ensure environmental safety. Meat is divided into pieces of uniform weight, about 1 to 2 kilograms apiece. Poison is injected into each piece of meat. The meat, after being poisoned, will be spread evenly in the trap area. Trap areas are often chosen and places where wild boars often pass by, such as next to trails, field edges, or forests. This method is estimated to reduce the wild boars populations by about 20 to 30% per year. However, there are also disadvantages to consider. In the United States, the use of poison to control feral swine is regulated by each state's regulatory agency. These regulations include the type of poison allowed, the dosage, and how to use it. The state of Texas is a testament to the success of this method, helping to reduce the wild boar populations by about 25% per year. According to statistics from the Texas Department of Agriculture, the method of trapping and poisoning wild boars is not only a population control measure, but also a scientific approach, requiring careful research and management to ensure a balance between environmental protection and minimize negative impacts on other species. This is a positive measure for ecological balance and protection of natural resources in areas affected by wild boars populations. What do you think about this method? And from your humble opinion, my dear beloved audience, what are the countermeasures that you think that we should apply the most in order to reduce the forest glider population? And for now, allow me to let you continue watching the rest of the video.
Farm owners have teamed up with professional hunters to participate in trapping wild boars. There are farm owners who do not have much experience in setting wild boar traps. In the afternoon, the hunter will go to the field area to set traps for wild boars. When they reached the land area, they started building iron fences to trap wild boars. These iron traps range in height from about 3 to 6 feet. They will bring down the mesh frames around the trap and then begin installation. As you can see, the installation is quite simple. However, you need to install it correctly according to the steps above. Until the installation is complete, the worker will install the power line and recheck the joints of the trap. Once completed, the worker will rotate the winch to lift the lower body of the trap and install the remote control. In each trap, the center will be filled with the types of grain that pigs like to eat the most, and then we will wait for the results via camera. Likewise, traps can be placed near each other or in other areas showing signs of feral boar invasion. Let's watch and see how this trap works. You can also see that herds of wild boars are starting to approach because they smell the scent of agricultural products. They are too familiar with the smell of corn in the fields. Each herd of pigs entering will have the leading male pig, followed by the female pigs and their cubs. They are very numerous. You know, during each wild boar breeding season, each wild boar will give birth to about 12 babies per crop. Just like that, the number multiplied, and to date, the estimated number of wild pigs has reached 9 million. Back to the traps. When the pigs enter the trap, monitor the camera. If there are no wild boars around anymore, then the trap will be activated. Perhaps this is the moment you look forward to the most. The pigs ran and then hit the trap hard. The material used to make the trap was very sturdy, so it could block the pig's strength. Every year in the United States, wild boar trapping competitions are held. The contest will be held for a few days to a week. Wild boar trappers from all over come to participate in this contest. You will see the rewards right here. These are people who are very good and skilled at trapping wild boars. They have learned and accumulated experience over quite a long period of time. Vehicles carrying wild boars are parked around a yard. Each vehicle will be brought into the weighing area to calculate the total weight of the wild boar vehicle. The person with the highest number of wild boar weights will be the winner and will receive the contest prize. There are many of these pigs that are said to weigh 200 to 300 pounds, a fairly large mass to be ranked among the top giant wild boars. When they were awarded the prize, They said they had been waiting for the contest to take place for a long time. This is also a competition organized for entertainment and to encourage contestants to practice their wild boar trapping skills. In addition to trapping wild boars, hunting is also one of the ways to deal with wild boar invasions. The hunters will gather together and begin their hunting journey. They will learn together and go to a land where many wild boars live. Of course, they will hide in hilly areas. They will go to the highest areas on the mountain and use lenses to observe areas with wild boars. When discovering wild boars, the hunter will calm down and aim at their heads to shoot. This is the point where the wild boar becomes paralyzed and faints immediately. In field areas, hunters will lead hunting dogs to search for traces of wild boar. To be able to have these hunting dogs, hunters had to train hunting dogs for a long time. Furthermore, this breed of dog is also very expensive and difficult to buy. Hunting became easier with the support of companions and hunting dogs. Just like that, until the end of the day, they will collect all the wild boars and return to celebrate. It is estimated that every day in the United States, about 4.5 thousand wild boars are hunted. This is a small number compared to their numbers in the United States. There are hunters who specialize in hunting wild boars from afar. This hunter was in the mountains and shot a wild boar at a great distance. He was very confident with his hunting equipment and made sure to shoot wild boars. Let's take a look at his skills. With just one shot, the wild boar was immediately knocked down. I couldn't believe my eyes. This man chose a high and remote position to be safer and to easily observe wild boars. The times that followed surprised me. His vision and observation are very quick and accurate. The wild boars he saw were all brought down by his skill. Any animal that appeared was attracted. Even the coyote was captured by this hunter. Their comrades also returned and harvested their spoils. It's amazing to have these skills.
A shocking incident occurred in 2021 when a herd of wild boars invaded a corn farm in Kentucky. This was an attack that not only caused extensive damage to the farm but also posed a serious problem in terms of management and control of the wild boar population. The feral pigs devastated more than 200 acres of corn, causing approximately $2 million in property damage. Literally all the corn fields were destroyed by wild boars. They destroy crops by digging into the soil, eating plants, and trampling on remaining plants. The large holes in the ground they dug caused serious destruction, and a large amount of corn was consumed. On a national scale, Damage caused by wild boars to agriculture is estimated to amount to billions of dollars each year. According to the U.S. Natural Resources Services Administration, in 2022, this damage has reached an estimated figure of $2.5 billion, an alarming figure. Wild boars have become a major threat to agriculture and require cooperation between governments, regulation agencies, and farmers to find effective solutions to control wild boar populations and minimize losses that are pretty harmful. Field hunting of feral hogs is an important method of controlling feral hog populations in the United States. Wild boars are often attracted to corn and wheat fields, as they often form large herds, creating favorable conditions for jam lovers. However, to ensure safety and efficiency in wild boar hunting, it is necessary to comply with rules and quality measures. According to estimates by the U.S. Natural Resources Services Administration, about 1 million feral hogs are hunted in the field in the United States each year, representing a significant portion of the total wild hog population hunted in the field. This country points to the importance of wild boar hunting in controlling their populations. There are about 2 million wild boar hunters in the United States, and a large portion of them are Americans. This shows the popularity and interest in feral pig control. However, to ensure safety and effectiveness in hunting, hunters need to follow some rules and take specific measures. Hunting wild boar in the field requires the use of highly accurate guns to ensure accuracy and target shooting and avoid endangering people or other animals. Using hunting dogs to search for wild boars in bushes and tall grass is also an important measure. Hunting wild boars during the day helps to see the target more clearly and increases safety in identifying targets to shoot. At the same time, hunting in groups is also an important measure. By having a team organized in the field, hunters can maximize visibility, detection, and ensure safety during the hunt. Hunting as a team in the field offers many benefits. It increases the likelihood of wild boar sighting by sharing responsibility and covering more areas. Hunters also have the ability to coordinate actions to increase their chances of spotting wild boars and reduce the risk of injuries. However, when hunting in teams in the field, it is necessary to follow safety rules and communicate clearly. This ensures that everyone in the squad always knows each other's location, uses calls or signals to communicate, and never fires when they're unsure of their targets. Additionally, being careful when moving around the hunting area is important to ensure the safety of everyone in the team. According to estimates by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, The escape of approximately 1 million feral hogs into the wilderness in the United States each year represents a significant challenge to wildlife management. This number accounts for about 20% of all feral hogs hunted in the United States. When these pigs are released into the wild, they often have an invasive behavior during hunting activities and seek refuge in the forest. They tend to wait for darkness to set in before venturing out in search of food. Their natural survival instincts drive them to seek refuge in densely wooded areas, such as forests, where they can find protective cover and avoid detection. Wild boars hunting in the United States is a popular and an important activity in controlling wild boars populations, which are harmful to agriculture and the environment. Wild boars often gather in large herds and live in dense forest environments, creating favorable conditions for hunters. When participating in wild boar hunting activities in the forest, hunters often use a number of different methods. The most common method is using hunting gears. Hunting tools can provide long range and high accuracy. However, safety regulations should be followed when using them. Wild boars hunting time is also an important factor. Wild boars are usually active at night, so hunting during the day is a good choice. However, hunting at night can also be more dangerous, so it is necessary to use appropriate safety equipment such as infrared lighting. Hunting wild boars in groups in the forest has many advantages. By sharing responsibilities, hunters can cover more areas and increase their chances of finding wild boars. Hunting wild boars in the forest is an effective method to control the wild boars population and protect the environment. Hunting wild boars nowadays is becoming more and more difficult as the population is increasing rapidly. There are many other measures to prevent invasive wild boar populations. Now let's see more in some other areas.